I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's a winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here with Most Smoke, No Joke, and I'm back again with a brand new video. And I'm gonna keep it a bow break biscuit. It's good to be back. As y'all know, or some of y'all know, I've been on the road for the last couple weeks. I was in Charlotte for a week, and I was in Georgia for part of last week. Just got in last night. I wasn't able to do that many videos on the road, and the videos I did do were way different than usual. I'm sure the sound quality, the lighting, all that stuff. That is not the point. I can't even talk about that right now because today is a really special day. Today is one of the most important days. I've been saying that for a minute. Every time anything happens, like the beginning of training camp, the draft, all that. But this is a very important day. This is the first day of football. I don't mean training camp. I don't mean mini camp. I don't mean, seeing guys in shells or whatever. I'm talking about actual football now. It is the preseason. But we're going to see some live hits. We're going to see actual competition. We may not see all the ones from both teams, but we will see some actual NFL football. And it's coming to you tonight at 8 p.m. Panthers at the Chicago Bears. And this off top should be a very exciting game, a very exciting matchup, because we already know the Panthers offense is newly revamped and the Panthers defense is obviously looking really good. But the Bears are a really good matchup because their defense is obviously one of the best, if not the best in the league. And there's just names up and down the depth chart. I'll get to that in a second. But their offense is actually looking pretty good. When you think about the Bears, when you hear news about the Bears, you don't really hear too much about their offense. You don't hear much about Mitch Trubisky and maybe even Tariq Cohen. But their offense is actually looking pretty disgusting this year. I mean, just by names alone. And I'll get to that here in a second as well. But I want to talk about a few of the things that are going on with this matchup. First off, the most important thing to talk about here is that we won't be seeing Cam or Luke Kuechly play in this preseason game, and that's smart. Honestly, I have no problem at all with any of that. I remember in minicamp, I said I don't care if Cam didn't throw until training camp. And I said during training camp, I don't care if Cam doesn't throw every single day, which he hasn't. I'm not all that concerned about Cam not playing at all in this first game against the Bears, especially with this kind of front seven that will be they got a disgusting front seven, I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see how the O-line does first. The ones aren't going to play much more than 2 or 3, maybe even 4 series. I don't see them getting to 4 series, honestly, 4 possessions. But there's a lot you can do with Khalil Mack in a few plays. I want to see how our O-line's looking. We have guys who are coming off injury, guys who are finding themselves in new positions. Darrell Williams playing left tackle this game. Matt Paradis is coming off of a leg injury. We want to see how guys look. And honestly, in that same vein, we want to see how our backups look. Kyle Allen. Now, honestly, we all understand as Panthers fans, if you're watching the news, looking at what's been happening with the training camp, we already know that our 3 quarterbacks are Cam, Kyle Allen, and Will Grier. There is a 0% chance that Taylor Heinicke makes the team, barring injury, which none of us want. The team has basically been telling us this whole time that Taylor Heinicke is so far off their radar that they don't even put any news out on him anymore. There's never even a slight mention of this man's name at camp, he has some good throws. Not even when you talk about, if he threw a pass to Curtis Samuel, it's a good pass. You just hear Curtis Samuel had a really good catch today at camp. It's never Curtis Samuel got a really good throw today from Taylor Heinicke. The team is making it very clear that the 3 quarterbacks are Cam, Kyle, and Will Grier. And that's cool, but we will be seeing Kyle Allen start this game. And since we all understand that preseason games, usually the starters get the first few series, and then it goes the number 2 guys, and the 3s and 4s and whatnot as the game goes on. We might see Kyle Allen actually get some extended snap counts here because he is the backup. We only have really 2 guys. I mean, they're going to put Taylor Heinicke in there probably near the back end of the game, but I would not be all that surprised to see Kyle Allen actually play maybe till halftime. Maybe he'll play the whole first quarter, maybe a couple plays in the second quarter, and we put Will Grier in there. But I would not be all that surprised to see Kyle Allen get extended snaps past what you would normally see from the number 1 quarterback on a team. And that goes for a few guys on both sides of the ball. Get a Luke Kuechly here. Luke's not playing this game, and that's a good thing here. I hope Greg Olsen doesn't play in this game as well, but, we might throw him in here for a few plays and whatnot. Oh man, I hope he stays healthy. But the thing about Luke is, we do understand he has a history of concussions, and he did go down and practice a few days ago, and then the very next day, he did not practice, and we were told it was a scheduled thing. It wasn't anything to do with him, leaving practice the day before. And that's cool because, guys like Luke, veteran guys who are, cornerstones of the team, don't need to be playing every single training camp day, don't need to be playing every single snap of the preseason. Honestly, I don't want to see very many of these guys who are starters play very much in the preseason at all. Maybe game 3 versus the Patriots, there's definitely going to be guys who we see who may or may not start, who will still get good reps both on the line and standing up in the 3-4 and 4-3 defenses. And we'll be seeing a lot of guys try out a whole lot of different things. So we have guys who can do a lot of different things. We have guys who are very versatile. I mean, we can go on the whole front 7, but Marquise Haynes, F.A. Abada, Mario Addison, who we saw have some really good success as a hand-in-the-dirt defensive end. He's now a starting outside linebacker, and we'll probably see him get looks at both positions there. The whole front 7, we have JC, Jermaine Carter, who's going to be starting in place of Luke. We'll see what he can do, see about Shaq. We have a lot of different pieces, a lot of different guys who do a lot of different things, and we will be seeing them in different roles. It won't just be them coming in at their spot and then leaving and be done, because there are different things to practice, different things to get used to, different things you have to, experience in that role. We can't just think about it. We can't just be at training camp and at practice and get a good feel for it. These are guys who are, some of them might be vets and are really good at what they were doing before, but you got to get reps at the new stuff. There's a lot of new things to understand, a lot of new things to see in game with game speed. So we'll see how they work out in this game. But that actually brings me back to the point I was making at the top of the video about how this should be an exciting matchup, the Panthers versus the Bears, but it probably actually won't be. Just because of the same reasons that we have Cam and Luke not playing today, I don't expect the Bears to play most of their starters on defense. Now, I can show you this first depth chart that I saw on Twitter from someone in the Bears. Look, there's just too many guys on their team who are way too important. We're not going to see Khalil Mack. If we see Khalil Mack, the Bears have messed up. There's just no reason to have Khalil Mack even get a single pellet of that turf in any of his cleats. You have guys like Danny Trevathan, who's kind of older, but he's going to revamp that defense a little bit for him. You have guys who are like Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller should test the field. You see Leonard Floyd, who might get some snaps. It's kind of tough for me to be boosting these Bears players, but when you see these names and you see what they've done over the past couple of years or this last year, you got to give respect where it's at. But the biggest thing I really wanted to see was this secondary. We all know about the front 7 of the Bears. We can name off the whole front 7 of the Bears if we really got to. But it's this secondary. Ha Clinton-Dix, Kyle Fuller. They have Eddie Jackson. And who's the last guy? Prince Amukamara. And there's some really good position battles going on for the receiver spot. Not just talking about who's number 1, who's number 2. I might do a video talking about Curtis Samuel versus DJ Moore. My thoughts on what it means to be a number 1 receiver. Or if there even is a meaning to a number 1 or number 2 receiver in the NFL anymore. And really more specifically for our team and our scheme with Norv Turner. I have a lot of thoughts on this news I keep hearing about Curtis Samuel being number 1 and let's boost this and DJ Moore isn't that good anymore. I don't understand what all that's about. I might do that video later on today because I'm kind of backlogged with my video content. But the point here is I want to see how Curtis Samuel and DJ play against these kind of guys, but also guys like Chris Hogan, Jarius Wright, Torrey Smith. I want to see how guys like guys who are on the fringe, maybe Rashad Ross, Terry Godwin. I want to see how maybe guys like Aldrick Robinson fare against actual high-end, top-tier talent in the secondary and see who can really make this team based off their skills as a wide receiver. Now, there's some guys in the back, who might make the last, the 6th spot, maybe even the 7th receiver spot based off how they field punts and kicks. But I really want to see if any of these guys can steal a spot on the roster based off how they play against top-tier secondary talent. We'll be seeing these guys play a good amount of snaps. We won't be seeing any, I won't say bums, but we won't be seeing too many, guys who don't have a shot at making the roster at our wide receiver spot. So we'll be seeing good talent all the way around against all levels of competition in the secondary. But that also works in the reverse because I want to see how our secondary, how our guys especially Javen Elliott, the guy we picked up just a month ago, I think it was, playing in the slot, playing that nickel position. I want to see how he does. We're going to see Rashawn Gaulden. He's listed at number 2 strong safety right now. We'll probably see him in the slot at some point. We'll see him at free safety at some point. I want to see how he does. Trey Boston. I want to see how Ross Cockle looks. I want to see how DJ looks. Dante Jackson. I don't want to call him DJ anymore. But I want to see how all these guys look in the secondary. Because, look, hey, Corn Elder, all of them. Because the Bears have some really good... Look. Allen Robinson. Taylor Gabriel, who used to play for the Falcons. They have who they have? Anthony Miller, who is disgusting. They have Cordell Patterson, who's a receiver, but I think they'll be using him at running back this year, which makes sense. He's a good like gadget kind of guy. Then you have guys like Riley Ridley, who they picked up in the 4th round this year. But hold up real quick. Speaking of draft talent, in the 3rd round, 87th pick, the Bears got David Montgomery. And if you don't know who that is, and you've been watching my videos for a while now, you really should, because I had him on a lot of my draft boards a few months ago. I did a whole breakdown video on David Montgomery. This guy is going to be special in the league. David Montgomery is a really good running back, and he will be the guy we see a lot of in this game. We probably won't see too much of Cohen. He probably won't touch the field very much, but we will see David Montgomery. And look, it's going to be a really good test because we were 12th in the league against the run last year, but that really wasn't because we were stopping the run. If you watched the games last year, you understand that our team, the Panthers, were not stopping the run. We were 12th in the league because teams realized, wait. We could run against them, but why don't we just go ahead and pass the ball since they're 18th worst in the league in the pass defense? We can really test out what we can look at with our front 7 against the run this year because we have to find some kind of run defense. Teams were gashing us. If you watch the first 6-7 games of the year, that toss to the right, didn't matter who ran it. That toss to the right was a deadly play call for anyone against us. But definitely seeing what we can do against David Montgomery with our front 7 is going to be a test tonight. So I'm really looking forward to this game. I mean, there's really good tests all over the field. Our receivers versus their secondary and the flip of that. Honestly, I could talk about the O-line some more, but I just don't think we're going to be seeing the Bears at their full strength in their front 7. I don't think it's going to be that big of a test today unless their backups give us a test, and their backups better not give us a test. But no matter how you split it, no matter who actually suits up tonight, we will see some really good reps out of those guys, and we will learn a lot about their heart and a lot about how these guys playing against some actual competition in the preseason and guys fighting for their spots on the team. Like in the preseason, I don't really even care that much about the ones and I want to see more from these guys who are fighting for a spot on the team, guys who are fighting for their lives, their NFL lives. That's the really exciting part for me in the preseason. So that's what I'm looking forward to. What are you looking forward to? First off, do you even watch the preseason? Do you actually even care about the preseason? What are you really most excited for seeing for this game and the preseason as a whole? I could get into score predictions or win-loss predictions, but who cares about winning and losing in the preseason? Not me. I couldn't care less what the score is as long as we get some really good looks out of our guys, man. That's what I got for you, though. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon. And, as always, you already know to do that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.